Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Dua Challenge, Day 8, Dua number 8, inshallah. Today we are going to talk about this desperate dua of a Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're talking about the story of Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam had to leave Egypt under the Bani Israel of the time, where when two men were fighting and he tried to resolve that by separating them, and because he was a strong man, when he tried hit one of them to control him, that person died on the spot, which brought on him a death penalty more or less. So he had to leave Egypt because otherwise he would be imprisoned. And when he left Egypt, he was exhausted, tired. He reached another town, city, what you call as Madian, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran. And when he reached that city, you can imagine his position. He's almost like a refugee. He's on a run. He's got a death penalty on him. He's under the rulership of Pharaoh at the time. So he's running away from Pharaoh. He's running away from death penalty. He's left his country, house and everything. He's got no money on him. He's got no house on him. It says that he does not even have shoes, slippers to wear at the time. So he was in a very desperate and a delicate situation. While he was doing that, and he arrived to this town, and he saw there were some men who were, watering their herds, but there was a group of two women who were just waiting in queue. So he inquired with them out of his goodwill to help and support them. And he inquired, and they said that we need to wait until all the men finish, because their father, who's an old man, cannot come out and get these things done. So Musa alayhi salam, out of his goodwill, he assists them. He waters their herds, their flock, and then he goes and sits down under the scorching sun on a shed. While sitting down, in his need of the hour, in his weakness, in his desperateness, he makes this dua. And my dear brothers and sisters, what an amazing situation. He makes this desperate plea to Allah, and in return, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants him almost everything. He was stateless, he gets the country to live in. In short, he gets the citizenship to stay in this country. He gets a job, he gets a house, he gets a full-time job, he gets the wife to get married and have a family. He pretty much, from a homeless person, becomes a settled person with this dua. Many of us have several situations in our own lives, struggling for jobs, struggling for marriage, struggling for settling down in a city or a country. All of this, we all go through this. Let's remember this dua and try make that. This is from Surah Al-Qasas, Surah number 28, ayah number 24. And this is the dua that Musa alayhi salam recited. He read when he was tired and desperate. Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. It means, oh my Lord, truly I am in desperate need of whatever provision, of whatever goodness, of whatever khair that you have in store for me. So he's making a plea to Allah. He's saying, I am helpless. I am in absolute need. Grant me all the goodness that you have for me. Grant me any blessings that you have for me. Grant me the khair that you have for me. So my dear brothers and sisters, let's memorize this dua, recite it today, and recite it through the rest of the month of Ramadan. So Allah opens the doors of khair and blessings for all of us. Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. Assalamu alaikum.